So I got under the car and found that I could actually spin the fuel filter just enough to see the part number on it. So that's what's in it at the moment, a Z200, so I figured I'd just grab another one of those. They don't even look the same, even though they got the same part number. That's after the filter. They come out pretty clean. That's coming out the entry of the filter. So that's straight from the tank, and you can see that's filthy. Maybe this will fix the surging issue a bit now that we're getting a clean filter in there. I'm going to take the top off this, so I could just for interest, so I can look at it. It's been a matter of giving these a tap, and then I should be able to lever this out. I broke that. I just stuck a screwdriver in it and pulled it trying to lever the top off, and that just snapped off. Alright, I've disconnected the reference line to the wastegate. So now the wastegate doesn't know what the manifold pressure is, but still the wastegate still cracks before I get onto boost, and by 4 psi it's completely open. So yeah, I think that definitely confirms that it's wastegate creep, that the spring in it's just too soft. So shit, I'll have to see if the old wastegate's still around, so I can grab the grab the spring from it and swap it over, and then yeah, go from there. So that was basically square. I've taken out this material at the top. That's the back outside. Both the front ones have 3 of these washers on them. This one, the hole was a little bit offset towards the trans tunnel, so I took a little bit of material off the side to line that up. This back one, I had to take a fair bit of material at the front side. But yeah, and this one will pretty much line up, but it's like an inch. It's an inch off, and the bolt's too small, so I'm going to need a longer bolt and something to space that. So this one thing I haven't tested yet. Lucky. I got a BA center console for free because it was a bit damaged. So I pulled it apart. I was going to try to... I had ideas. They didn't work anyway. But I put the ED hinge onto it. So I just wanted to see if I could make it fit. And yeah, if I liked the idea, I figure I'll go buy a half decent condition one. Sitting back a bit though. Pro tip, do not leave things under the bonnet of your car and then start it, because things end up sitting directly on the power steering pump pulley and making funny sounds until you turn it off and check what it was. Oops. Well, I got myself a nice little joiner to connect this up, which even says Ford on it. This is actually a piece of the BA XR6 intercooler piping. So of course this is 2 1/4. So I don't particularly like that it downsizes, but considering when this thing's finally running how it should, I'll only be making about as much power as a stock BA turbo anyway. So if it's good enough for that, I'm sure it's going to be big enough for this. Because it is actually quite rigid. It's like really thick, like I'm trying to squeeze that, and it's, yeah. So I can actually put the clamps nice and tight. I know that doesn't look very tidy. I should put these at the bottom, but anyway, it's certainly a lot less dodgy than the PVC. It's a lot more direct, and it says Ford on it. So it was meant to be. And of course it wouldn't be a Mad EDT episode without the fuel pump coming out again. I don't know what's happened this time. But the fuel pump got loud again, even though I've got a submersible fuel line on it. So I'm going to whip it out and see what's going on this time. I still think the pump needs to be replaced anyway, so I've actually ordered one through Autobahn. I don't know why. It would have been just as quick to get here and a fair bit cheaper if I just bought it direct from Aeroflow is the company. It's just a knockoff of the 023. Looks almost identical except it's black and like same flow specs and everything, so hopefully computer will be happy with the tune, because it should basically be the same fuel pump. But for now, I'm gonna whip this one out and see what's going on. Seriously. This was Gates submersible fuel line. Now this was purchased on eBay, so perhaps it's knockoff stuff, but today I went to Repco and I bought 8mm Gates, which doesn't say submersible on it, but they told me all their fuel line is submersible, so I see another fucking issue in my near future, but here we go again. New fuel pump. Righto. So there is the, oh my god, stay still. There's the part number for it. So that is a Aeroflow. It's like a knockoff of a Bosch 023, almost identical flow rate and everything. So hopefully the ECU and everything is all happy with that. So I'll get that in today while I'm fucking around with the trying to get the battery in the boot. I just did my FG, did a battery relocation to the just to the opposite side, and that was as far as wiring goes, like the easiest possible thing you could ever do to your car. It was really simple. But whenever people do the E-Series, I don't know, forums and stuff make it sound a lot more complicated, but I'm just going to do my own thing and hopefully I don't burn the car down. There you go, bit of a comparison between the two fuel pumps, and they are basically identical, although I'm not sure if these can be rebuilt. I think I read somewhere that they can. So there's the old wastegate. So I'm going to swap that spring out and see if that fixes the issue. Well, I'm changing the wastegate spring over without taking the wastegate out because these bolts were an absolute prick to get to. It was just really awkward. So, and this is going to save me replacing the gasket as well. As you can see, the spring from the original wastegate is a lot longer. It does sit in there nicely. It's a bit tighter in the bottom half of the housing, but hopefully she's going to be alright. Obviously, to start with, I'll make sure that I'll either take the boost controller out or just shut it completely off and just roll on easy and see what it does. It is a lot easier to access the wastegate with this setup though. You can see how low it is. It's like, you know, only a couple of inches above the sway bar here. Finally got the other wastegate in the car. This is the old one, of course, and this is the spring out of the newer one. This is a spring out of it. It is softer, but not heaps. But it's definitely it's shorter. It's like an inch shorter. And you do notice the other one feels a lot more progressive. Although, for a start, the other one doesn't feel a lot stiffer. But as you push it down, like, it gets really stiff towards the bottom. So I think it is definitely going to be a lot better. It's time for me to take the car down off the jack and take it for a spin and see if fucking... How long have I been doing this? I started Christmas time. See if, yeah, like 8 months later I can finally go for a drive, make 6 PSI and not have any exhaust leaks or anything fucking dodgy. Fuck you, spring.